You know, when you spend a great deal of time creating a reel and you're like, great, I'm super excited about publishing this reel. Then you publish it. And then for whatever reason, you just hear silence, there's not engagement. And you also don't see engagement over time with that reel. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Most of the time, it's not actually the content within the reel. It's all of these small details that you may have overlooked. And I totally get it. I've done it too, where I published a reel, I spent a lot of time on it. And then I'm like, where is everybody when it comes to engaging or seeing the information or hearing the information and letting me know it was really valuable? So today I'm going to talk about these small details that you can add to your Instagram reels that really make them pop, make people want to go and look at your other content, which is really important. We want to make sure that your content's binge worthy. And that's why people follow you, is because they're like, oh, I love this post. Now I want to see this post and that post. And, so there's a couple key things I do with myself and client accounts because I'm a digital marketer. I've been doing this for 12 years. I have managed multiple accounts from billion-dollar businesses and even small local and businesses as well. So I'm just going to give you kind of the inside scoop of some of the things that we do, especially with Instagram Reels, to make them pop, make them stand out, and make people want to follow you. So first things first is when you think about your Instagram cover. I know. I get this question all the time. Does the cover matter? Does the cover not matter? And there's two different strategies you can use when it comes to Instagram cover. One is branded Instagram cover, and those work really well because you can use your fonts, colors, and your imagery with your brand, and you upload the cover onto the Instagram feed, and it just makes the grid look really appealing. Most of my clients pick that choice. The second choice is, let's say you're a professional or influencer or public figure, and you kind of just want to do a real cover of a still shot on your video, and then you just add text on top of it. Those work really well as too. So for today's video, though, we're going to talk about branded Instagram Reel content. And the awesome thing about this is I suggest if you create 2 to 5 reel covers in your Canva account, and you can just use those over and over again. Change out the fonts, change out the imagery and the colors, and no one really notices. It actually does it well when you just have kind of the same format sprouted over time. And we've seen tremendous results when it comes to this type of Instagram cover. So I'm going to kind of give you 2 different hints right now and show you what I'm talking about when we're looking for these. And first, what I want to talk about when it comes to your Instagram Reel covers, let me place this over here. What I want to talk about when we are talking about your Instagram Reel covers is really, we really need to make sure that it is, here, let me pop this up, and I'm going to move over here just a little bit. There you go. We want it clean and crisp and have like a nice hook with your reel cover. A lot of people don't think about that. We focus so much on the hook in the beginning of the video that we've missed the hook on the text overlay or on the Instagram cover. Let me go over here just a little bit more. Perfect. And you guys, what do we do when we scroll Netflix, for example? We are looking at the covers and we're trying to figure out, do we want to do this TV show or this movie? And it's very eye-popping imagery, right? So think about that when you're thinking about your Instagram covers. I'm going to just scroll through here, but let's look at this photo. Like, oh, come on, guys. Okay, that one, there we go. But see how it's about 2 to 3 sentences for the TV and film cover, and then it just has a really nice imagery, and that's it. And then it even has the logo. It's not just a bunch of words. We don't want to have a bunch of words on your Instagram Reel covers. It's really hard to see also when you go on the grid. We just need it punchy. So I would say 5 to 7 words. I would say 5 or less words max, to be honest. That's what I try to shoot for, unless if I'm doing how to, So that might be then 7 words. How to XYZ, ABC. But again, think about that with these movie posters and whatnot. See how they stand out, and it's really the imagery. And again, another thing about your Instagram Reel covers is they have to have your face on it, or a team member's face on it, or your imagery of your target audience's face on it. Let's say you're a dog trainer. Obviously, you would want to put an awesome, cute little dog on it. But if it's really you talking to camera, we really want your face on it, because we're going to connect with you. And the thing when it comes to reels is connection beats perfection, and connection is what actually makes me want to keep watching your video and see who you are and what you're about, and then maybe follow you. So a trick that I have when it comes to Instagram reel covers, when you're in your Canva account, because you're like, well, how do I create these Instagram reel covers, Tisha? Well, the thing is because we want the core thing we want with your Instagram reel covers, not be so busy, under 7 words. I would suggest under 5 words. So you create a mini hook. So it's not the same hook that you wrote for your script, and it's also not the same hook in your caption. And it's also not maybe the text overlay hook. See how there could be 4 hooks when it comes to your Instagram reels? I should do a video on that. But another thing is, again, we want a photo of you. So what does this look like? Is if you think about real estate marketing, what is real estate marketing? Yep, it is that kind of cheesy photo of the realtor everywhere, because what it is, it's face recognition. Oh gosh, this is Lauren, the real estate agent. Of course I recognize her. Oh, I'm driving by and I see the sign and oh, there's Lauren again or whatnot. So that is what we're looking for. So when you go into Canva, you can actually just type in real estate and you can get a bunch of real estate templates. And that's where I would start. And as you can see, yes, there's some busy ones, but when it comes to some of these formats, look at this. It's not busy because it needs to just pop for the person seeing it. And for them to be interested in buying or contacting that realtor for that house, or for them to contact that realtor so that the realtor can help sell their house. See how it's punchy and it's elegant and it's just clean and it's crisp. So that's what I suggest, is using real estate templates as your initial find, because obviously with real estate, they normally have a photo of the realtor too. So how can you make sure that you get actually a photo of yourself for these real estate covers? It's super easy. And this is what my clients do. They either take a photo and they upload it to Dropbox for me. And the photos literally after they film the reel, they just take a nice photo of themselves when it comes to their iPhone 2 or their smartphone. What you can do is you can smile at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video. And that allows your marketer or yourself to then take a screenshot of that still shot, and then you can upload it into your Canva account and you are good to go. Another option is you can also get professional photos. With social media, we're more engagement with genuine content. And I kind of like when you look like how you look in the Instagram reel. So that's kind of what I suggest, is to just take a screenshot of yourself or a photo of yourself while you're filming these reels. So you'll have a cover and then you'll have the video. So when I'm talking about with actually editing one of these, I had one that I was going to show you. Okay, this one, Harper Russo. Let me show you how easy this can be actually. So this is a great example. I would literally just put you right over here, and here is the hook. And then we can have our brand name right here. And then we can have our handle. We're gonna have to push this up just for it to fit on the Instagram feed. Because remember, Instagram 3, it's like 1350 to what is it, 1080 now? So we want it to fit in that box. Okay, there we go. And so you would put your business name here. Let's just say Expression. We'd put your hook here. Let's say Reels in 10 minutes or something like that. We're just gonna quick do an example right here, and then I would put my photo right here, and then I would attach my handle right here. So Go Expression, which is my agency, by the way, is Expression. And there you have it. Make sure you change the fonts and the colors in this, and you can use this template over and over again. And this, I actually use a template similar to this for clients, and it's great. It works. It's nice. And not only that, see how then when I'm scrolling through somebody's Instagram, I can see right here the hook, and I'm interested and I'm curious. And then I'm like, great. Okay, let's give it a try. So here is my notes for this video. So I'm just going to, so that I can keep teaching you. So the next trick, and let me just get rid of this. Okay. So the next thing when it comes to your Instagram Reel videos, and I know you've heard about this a lot, is do something in the beginning of the video. I just actually heard somebody on TikTok talk about how you should talk to camera, you should have a text overlay, and then you should have kind of like a motion all within the first 3 to 5 seconds of your video. And I do really like that approach. But what I'm going to talk about is maybe having what we call pattern disruptors throughout the video. And there's different ways you can have pattern disruptors. What a pattern disruptor is literally you either moving within the frame, you moving the camera in the frame, you adding maybe a sticker in the frame or text in the frame, and it's to keep the viewer engaged when it comes to your reel. And I know, because you're like, well, why can't they just watch all the way through? That is true, but psychologically, if we have things that are keep going, kind of like think about when you're on a ride at Disneyland or Disney World or Universal Studios. You know, there's all these things coming at you and it's just very enticing. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is an adventure in itself. And think about that when it's with your real mini adventure, and it really doesn't take that much time. And also, we don't need to be over the top with this. So here are some like low-key pattern disruptors is using text overlay throughout your video. Another one is just adding stickers. You'll see that on my video, I add emoji stickers or whatnot based on what I'm talking about in the video. You can also change camera angles. So, and that makes it really easy, especially if you're having a hard time memorizing some of your lines from the scripts that you wrote. What you can do is you can break it up into chunks and you can just do different camera angles when it comes to your reels. So all you have to do is memorize that 3 to 5 sentences. Great, you're done. And then you're going to change into different camera angles and people don't necessarily notice. Obviously, they know that you filmed it in different sections, but it looks really nice when you're done editing it. So a pattern disruptor when it comes to that are very subtle is you fixing your hair, you taking a drink of water or moving a cup, you touching the mic when you are moving, you having a mic in your hand, you having glasses with you, and then maybe you're just moving it around. Maybe you have a pen and you just like are flickering it around. Those are all minor pattern disruptors, but it allows me to stay engaged with you on your reel because there's movement. And I'm like, oh, wow, I don't even notice it, but it's because you're being a human being and actually moving instead of being like, hi guys, and just, just kind of robotically going through. And not only that, when you add pattern disruptors, whatever it is, it really just kind of like helps you just feel like you're still grounded here and you can still talk to the camera without you feeling very nervous. And I know a lot about this. I actually grew up acting and theater, and then I made my way to San Diego and Los Angeles in my 20s to practice and learn on camera technique for television and film. There's a huge difference when it comes to theater and on camera work for television and film, because for theater, I'm projecting my voice onto a crowd, which is a whole skill of itself. And I'm making a lot bigger physicality movements and making sure my lines are heard if I'm mic'd or I'm not mic'd. And then also making sure my facial expressions are a lot bigger for a crowd. When we're talking about on camera work, everything is like really subtle and you can pick up anything when it comes to the camera. So it's a lot more nerve-wracking, obviously talking on stages too, but it can be a lot more nerve-wracking. So when I got to LA and I was learning how to talk to the camera, I would do things like I would move in one place. I couldn't stop fidgeting, for example, or I'd make my voice really low because I just like was insecure about kind of what I was saying. And I didn't feel really confident with what I was saying, or I'd both doze through my lines. And I just like trying to get it over with. I wasn't actually experiencing or even breathing. A lot of the time, sometimes we don't even breathe and we're just like whoop, going through. And I would also feel like really upset if I missed a line or didn't say a line. It would get me out of my head and I wouldn't know how to just retrieve the line from the script. so that I can look down and be like, okay, great. That's what my script's saying, and I can just move on. And so, you know, you learn all that. So just start when it comes to these reels, and you'll get better and better. And I just released a podcast episode on how to be more natural when it comes to talking to camera for Instagram reels. So I'll put that in the show notes. Definitely take a look at it. There's some very helpful feedback, especially with my experience with acting, and how to get out of your head and more into on camera so you can connect with your viewer. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is your intros. Your introductions are a big part of whether or not someone stays on your video or not. And I know you hear this all the time, hooks, and it's very redundant. And there's so many accounts that are giving you like, here's top 20, 50 hooks, right? And that's awesome to get the format for hooks. But the thing is it's still very manufactured. So for example, the hook is like, how did I go from X to Y? Da, 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 da. It doesn't really tell you how to take that sentence and make it your own, and how to connect again to the camera. So that your viewers are like, oh, okay, this is Tisha showing up, instead of what the marketer told Tisha to say in the beginning. So a big thing when it comes to your introduction is we want it to be like you. We want the intro and the hook to be like you, and also make sure that you are able to deliver that hook in a way that feels genuine and authentic to you. And so you might need to do some writing when it comes to your hook. I have a hook formula on my Instagram reels. I'll make sure to put that in the show notes so that you can understand what type of hooks, because the hooks that I'm talking about are not very generic like that. They're actually about identifying a pain point and a result, and then adding your target audience into the hook, so that somebody scrolling knows that you're talking to them, and that is what they want to actually listen to you about, instead of the masses. It allows you to hone in on that specific person, and then also come up with a solution. So I'll put that reel in the show notes, look for it. But a big key when it comes to your introductions is we do not need these, hi, my name is Tisha Leigh. Today I'm going to talk about this. These are 3 tips for making homemade bread. We do not need that. We can just go straight into what you are talking about with the video. And you'll notice that with some of the bigger YouTube accounts, or just other bigger professionals or influencers, they just go right in it, because the thing is like, it's a time thing. Time is currency. And I am very fortunate that you're listening to this video. So I'm going to get right to the chase and allow you to know exactly what I'm talking about, so you can get the information and you can continue on with your day. Obviously, I love you here, and I would love for you to just keep listening. But the thing about that is making sure I respect your time, and I just go right into the information that you are looking for. So the last point that I want to talk about is your setup matters a lot more than you think. And I know you hear this, especially I see this on TikTok all the time, is your lighting, your lighting, and your lighting. And I get that. And the thing is it's the thing about your setup is, it just needs to be set up in a way that's easy for you, that is okay for you to have 1 or 2 places in your business or your house that you can just hit record. I know that it's beautiful that people have all these different types of areas, and they go and drive in their car and do the coffee shops, and they do the beach and all of that. And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying when it comes to strategic marketing and us getting this goal met, and that's what it is we need to hit this goal, and we need to nurture our audience and also our customers, and we want to do that. But we're also very busy, especially if you're over 30 and you're running a business. You're very busy. And so what that looks like is, how can we get this done every single week, knowing that it's a task that we have to get done, where it is easy on me, easy on my team, and easy on my marketer to edit these videos, for example, and in a way that we just get it done every single week. So my suggestion is, again, have 1 or 2 spots within your house or your workspace, your studio, your office, your gym, whatnot, hair salon, and then have it set up like, you have the tripod for example. We need the tripod when it comes to having your smartphone or your camera on the tripod. We need a mic. You have to have a mic. The thing is if you don't have a mic, that's where we get those echoing sounds. And I know Instagram just released an audio enhancer, which is I'm very excited for, which is going to help remove some of the background noise and the shakiness, for example, with your voice. But the thing is why not make sure that it's fully done right? I hear my husband say that all the time. Do it right the first time, and then you don't have to worry about it again. So that means my favorite is Rode mics, RODE mics, and they're a little expensive. I just had a team member say that to me the other day, that when I'm suggesting with clients, sometimes they're a little expensive. But go on Amazon and you can go into the reviews and you can see different mics that might be work good for you with whatever your budget is. The Rode mics, it's an investment of like about a $130, which I think is a good investment, because if you're going to be doing this every week, you might as well have a good camera or a good mic. And then also Rode also has their own apps attached to Rode. This one is a Yeti mic. A lot of people use Yeti mics. They're very good stabilizer. They make the voice very clear. You'll see this with a lot of podcasts, but if you're just starting out, it's okay for you to get a mic off of Amazon, for example, and you just roll with it at first, but you need to get a mic and also make sure that it connects to your smartphone or the device you're using to record. The next thing is lighting. We need good lighting. So I have a ring light here, and then I have my window right here. So that's kind of giving two different lights. That is kind of standard studio lighting. I used to be a photographer. That was one of my first jobs for ProX, where it's camera. And really what it is two soft boxes, and then there is a backlight to backlight the back of the room. Now I don't have that. I don't have like a light in the back. I don't think you need that, but I do want to make sure that there's a light right here in my face, which I'm using the window, and then I have a ring light right here. It's up to you, because sometimes with the ring lights, it creates that ring in your eyes, and that it looks kind of ethereal looking, and not everybody likes that. So you could also get two softbox kits. There's also ones that just connect to your desk as well. Give it a try. Again, you can find these devices on Amazon. Wait, let me get a drink of water. Pattern disruptor, but I'm actually needing a drink of water. Okay, and the next thing, let me see, is video quality. So a big thing is that I think it's 1080 and 30 FPS when it comes to iPhone that you should do a minimum. Look that up. But there's certain camera settings when it comes to your smartphone for you to do. There are a lot of creators that have suggestions on that. YouTube it, look it up, ask ChatGPT, and or invest in a camera. Like the one that I'm recording on right now is the Sony ZV-1. I believe, and I will put it in the show notes, but it's a mirrorless camera, and it's made and designed for YouTube, so it can give me very high quality video content for this channel, so that when people are viewing it on any device, I still look good and nice. But if you're just starting out, a smartphone is totally okay, and definitely do that. When it comes to B-roll content, I use my smartphone, so don't worry about that. Start with your smartphone. And then finally, we just want you to feel, or I just want you to feel like you feel like your best self. So a lot of the times you'll hear people on social media just say, show up with whatever. And you can do that. But what I've noticed still is if you feel good, you have more confidence with talking to the camera. And I just think that's very important. So make sure to just check how you look in the mirror before you start filming. Fix your hair, maybe add a little lipstick kind of thing. And it sounds like my great grandma Grace. She's like, always bring your lipstick, and I think that's a good tip when it comes from great grandma Grace. So here's your homework then. We want to go look at your last 5 reels, and we really want you to look at them and review them. Put yourself in the shoes of someone else who's never seen your content before. Are your covers compelling? Do the hooks grab attention immediately? Is there a hook on your cover? Is your audio clear? Is your lighting good? And, really be honest with yourself and think about, if I was my ideal customer, would I be wanting to follow along on this account too? And use these insights that I just gave you because they're definitely going to help improve your reels. So until next time.